Well, it's the first day of MSI. I am joined right now by Hauntzer after a really weird day. So let's start off with the Marines games, Marines game. Now, first off, talk to me through the decision to do this kind of like protect the ADC and comp, and specifically, why didn't you guys do something that's more playing around top or something?
Um, so we drafted that comp because honestly, our comp was better than theirs, and we would outscale them and win the game team fights pretty easily. Because Twitch scales really well, and with Lulu, I forgot what else we had, Nami or something. Yeah,
No,
Lulu.
not Nami, but you had a bunch of protect the
Yeah,
carries.
yeah, yeah. We like nothing can kill Twitch, and he can just 1v5
Right.
late game. So we thought it was like a good comp, but in game we ended up executing wrong, and like we ganked top and it failed, and then they dove bot, and then like they took our tower at like 7 minutes or something, and that really messed up bot lane. So I feel like if those events didn't happen, we would have had a much closer game. Because even though like we got pretty much shit on early, we still were able to come back, but we were just like too far behind to win any fights.
Yeah. What went wrong with that death up top in the beginning?
Um, Honestly, it's just a misplay. Like we went on different timings because he was playing really far up, and it was a good time to gank. But uh, Dennis came too early when I didn't have hook on, so I couldn't like do anything in that gank for most of the time until he was on tower. And at the end, I kind of just outplayed myself. I hooked onto the tower with no minions. I just died to the tower. Yeah. Pretty embarrassing.
Yeah. Also, why not? Because even SKT did this. Ban Gragas. Like, did you guys feel like that was you didn't worry about it, or what happened?
Um, we know it's like his most comfortable top lane pick, and that he usually does pretty well on it. But we didn't feel like it was something worth banning away compared to other champions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think that was overconfidence at all, or do you stand by that still?
No, I stand by it because like sure that was a misplay from me, but I still would have beat him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, and then finally on the Marines topic, like, what is it about that team that? Because obviously you guys looked way different in the WE game that we'll get to in a second. But what is it about Marines that seems to be getting to you guys in the last couple times you played them?
Uh, the Marines are just a really aggressive team, and they look to make a lot of plays. So, they just have a lot of set plays, and they know how to execute them really well. Like their execution on their plays is really well, and they just keep doing the same plays over and over, pretty much, and that's what makes it so. Like if the other team makes a mistake, they can snowball, and generally it went through that way, and it's just really hard for us to play safe, I guess, because we also want to be the proactive team. But I feel like our execution right now is a little bit worse, and so they're the ones getting ahead and getting the kills and snowballing.
Okay, so this might be a little BM. I'm sorry for this, but I asked Faker because I just interviewed him about what he thought of Marines because he just played them, right? And he's like, well, after watching them play against TSM, I was really nervous, but then when I started to play against them, I felt like they were just all in solo queue. So why is it? Yeah, why is it that Faker thinks these guys are all just like solo queue players, whereas you are like they've got the strategy and they're executing it, and it's crazy.
Well, it's true they do play like solo queue because they play off of kills to get objectives, but in their macro, I would say is like not as good as the other teams here. Um, I mean, yeah, like if you saw Faker like SKT versus Yam, they had like 22 kills in like 17 minutes. Pretty insane. It was really a bloodbath game. So I can see like why he would say it's like solo queue because they don't like to play controlled at all. They'd like to just keep making plays over and over. If it doesn't work out, then they just lose.
Okay, now let's talk about the Team W game. So why it seemed like you guys were looking to play around top a lot there. Why did you make that decision?
Uh, so going into draft, we were able to get Ken and Talia, and with that combo, Talia usually has the push mid and can roam to his islands really well, and Kennen is probably the strongest split pusher in the game right now. So if he can get ahead in lane, then he can pressure the map really hard and get objectives like lots of towers and stuff. And we didn't really decide to play the top. It was more like they were just camping the shit out of our bot lane. So we're like, we can't help you, dude. So let's go top. And yeah.
Were you surprised you got Kennen?
Yeah, actually, because he's such a good pick right now, and they didn't pick him either. So us getting them was really fortunate for us.
Yeah. All right, let's transition. So I believe your next game is against SKT, right? Mm-hmm. So you'll be facing off against Huni again.
Yep.
Are you excited about that, or have any thoughts on that?
I'm pretty excited. I watched SKT versus Marines, and he did get solo killed by Stark, but oh yeah, I also got solo killed by Stark. So damn. Okay.
So it's gonna be a pretty even match.
Pretty good. Never mind.
Let's go with that.
So yeah, it'll be a fun matchup because I haven't played him in a while, and I think he's gotten a lot better as a team player from being on SKT and playing in Korea. So yeah, it'll be a fun match.
Yeah. There were a lot of people after that. I'm sure you haven't checked the internet. I suggest you don't. But there were a lot of people after the first match who are just like, "Oh, North America, TSM, like, why is this happening?" Do you feel like you guys play, at least based on how this event has gone so far, worse internationally, or is it just you're facing tougher opponents, or like what is it about TSM that like we all get our hopes up and then things start? And I'm not saying they're not going to get better, but things look a little bleak,
Dude, I do not know why. So last year at Worlds, we thought we were really good going into it, and we ended up choking. Like, we all played pretty bad and didn't get out of groups. And this time around, I feel like it's more or less the same story, where we're not like adapting fast enough to the meta, or we're not being consistent in our communication, our shot calling, and generally just like playmaking in general. So I guess we just play worse internationally. I don't know why. It's like for some reason we just lose all our good habits and we have to relearn them throughout the tournament.
Okay, just because I like to give TSM fans the checkboxes to fill on excuses, I am excited to hear you sound a little stuffy. Are you sick? Are you feeling under the weather?
Yeah, actually, I forgot to turn the AC off last night, and I did get a little bit of a cold.
Oh, okay. No, but legitimately, you seem like you have a cold. Do you?
Yeah, a little bit, but it's not like enough to affect my gameplay. Yeah.
Any of the other players?
Well, if you looked at Reddit recently, someone did say he was sick for the GAM series, which is why it went so long. Okay. But he wasn't sick today, so I don't,
We don't know what's going on there. If only he was sick, maybe you guys would have won this one. Yeah. Trying to think of any other excuses. Not your patch. Is this patch a bad one for you guys?
No, this patch is good.
Okay.
Wait. Let me think of some excuses here. Jet lag. Jet lag.
You guys got a lot of jet lag?
We've been here for like 2 weeks, still having a hard time adjusting to it. It was only like a 4-hour difference for us. Probably like a day difference for the Asian teams, but we were just having a tough time.
With the day difference, you're kind of like full resetting. Right? With the 4 hours, it's actually like just an awkward amount of time. Yeah. Perkz said that G2 is definitely better than you guys. Do you agree with this, Hauntzer?
Definitely not, dude.
Okay.
Perkz has a big mouth, and last time he said something like that, he got clapped. Yeah. So I feel like he shouldn't really be saying that stuff anymore, but he can do whatever he wants, and I'll just we'll prove it to them on stage.
Okay. Cool. Well, I'm excited to see that matchup as well. Hopefully your congestion clears up a little bit. Is there anything you want to say to any of the fans out there, Hauntzer?
Shout out to all the fans. Thank you for supporting us. The crowd in Brazil is probably like the most hype crowd I've been to yet, and they're just really interactive, and they just love to cheer for us. And so playing here in Brazil is like really fun.
Did you feel that in the first game? Because I felt like they were cheering when you guys were dying a little bit.
They love all the teams.
Yeah,
so
let's go with that. No Brazilian team here, so they could just root for everybody, right? Very good. Well, thank you so much for the interview. I'm getting a little sick myself. Yeah, no, it's happening. You can check out the rest of our coverage of all things esports, MSI, and more here at Yahoo Esports.